Bulabinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavengavengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, 14 sentenced in sedition case. Police record robbery reduction. And man today convicted of sexual assault.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
The 14 people convicted of sedition were sentenced today at the Lautoka High Court. All were charged in relation to the Nandronga Nabosa sovereign Christian state matter. Felipe Naikaso with the details.
This group will spend more than 2 years behind bars after Judge Sunil Sharma dismissed their sentence earlier today. Chimi Korembete, Semi Tanikili, Ratu Osea, Bola Wangatambu, Alfreti Ngonewai, Eroni Rico, Ratu Inoke Tasere, Seru Kunalangi, Peneasi Nangau, Ratu Tevita Makutu, Mosese Navadi, Alfreti Nakuivou, Sorame Ratu Levu, and Andi Dhuvu Ngavindi have all been sentenced to 2 years, 3 months. However, Ulaesi Rambua Tuivono, who is serving 1 year, 8 months in jail for the Ra sedition case, will also serve another 1 year, 4 months after he was given his sentence today in the Nandronga sedition case. The group had signed a document titled Nandronga Navosa Sovereign Christian State in 2014 with the seditious intention of bringing in hatred or contempt or to excite disaffection against the state. 12 of the accused were represented by Aman Ravindra Singh, while 2 of the accused were represented by Sala Kunatumba and Filimoni Vosarongo. This is the second case of sedition this year, where all accused have been found guilty and sentenced. For this particular case, the 14 people charged and sentenced have also been set with no parole period. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Police have recorded a reduction of more than 30% in robbery and burglary cases compared to the same period last year. Commissioner of Police Brigadier General Sitiveningilio says this has been possible with the public's help and Operation Yandra Vaki. Maggie Boyle reports.
According to police, several countermeasures have been put in place to curb the robbery and burglary crime wave.
It has drastically reduced the stats that were there. So in comparison to the same period last year, both of those were reduced by around 30%. One was by 30%, the other by 34%.
Geliho says this effective crackdown has been possible with the help of the public.
It's no use posting these things on Facebook or talking about it around the Tano of Grog when you don't inform us. We need to know. And that's very important that we work together to reduce crime in the country.
And while the statistics are on the up, the Commissioner admits more work needs to be done.
Those crime tips that we have put out, and we're looking at other ways that we can put out this crime. So you'll see a few more changes when we've done this review.
Overall, crimes have also reduced with 1,240 cases this year compared to 1,564 cases for the same period last year, a drop of 21%. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
A 32-year-old man was today convicted of the sexual assault of his de facto partner's adopted daughter. While giving his judgment, Judge Justice Riaz Hamza found the man not guilty of 2 counts of rape. However, he was found guilty of the lesser charge of sexual assault. He will be sentenced next Thursday. Despite the ban on the use of underwater breathing apparatus, the Ministry of Fisheries has found people still using them to harvest beach demur. Minister responsible Semi Koroi Lavesau says with the recent UBA fatalities around the country, Fijians should be mindful of the penalty at hand. Kelly Vadalo reports.
The Fisheries Ministry has recorded 5 fatalities so far this year on the illegal use of UBA.
We told them that they were diving at a depth that were both depleting the reproductive sources for BDM, and also we've had a lot of fatalities. People were dying because of spending too much time with their tanks underwater Even when we ban underwater breathing apparatus, they still continue to use it.
Fisheries Officer Melly Redembe says Fijians continuing to use UBA are not only depleting our resources but putting their lives at risk.
The risk about using underwater breathing apparatus is that when you continue to dive continuously and you're fishing, you start to put value on the product that you're catching than your life. And we know as a professional diver, you know your limits in terms of diving.
Those caught using UBA can be fined more than $20,000 and can face 6 to 12 months imprisonment. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Still to come, Miot Hospital introduces new heart scan. And Gaunda Shipping welcomes Lomai VT Princess 5. Stay with us.
Moala ranalika o tikongona taon ni Singapore ando talitaka na wakaronga ng Bull FM number 2 na seri.
Ya dora subuni kurna bili. Borani batu karahambara binaranga. Do talitaki na wakaronga ng Bull FM number 2 na seri. Bula.
Bula FM number 2 na seri.
The search continues for the third victim of the ill-fated Kaiwai, which has already claimed the lives of 2 men. FBC News can confirm that of the 2 dead, one is a South Korean national and the other a Fiji national. The Fiji Navy today conducted an aerial search and were able to identify the approximate location of where the barge went down. FBC News understands the seas in which the barge capsized has an estimated depth that exceeds 70 meters, which would be difficult for the Navy divers to get to. The cargo barge Kaiwai reportedly sunk in rough seas early Tuesday morning while traveling to Mbukama Island in the Asawas. Police and the Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji continue to investigate the fatal accident. Miot Pacific Hospitals has introduced a new way of conducting scans to help detect heart disease. This is being done with the country's first 4D high-definition CT scanner, which has conducted 70 heart scans so far. Rachel Nath checked out the service earlier today and filed this report.
Painful needles will no longer be a requirement when wanting to get a heart scan, as the new 4D CT scanner provides a non-invasive process.
The test is a screening test and it is non-invasive. And as you heard, if you have a worry because somebody in the family has had heart disease or you yourself have risk factors that make you worry that you may get heart disease in the future, it's a very good screening test because it will predict whether you are going to get it or not, and it will also show if you do have something going on, without actually invading your body excessively like a standard angiogram does.
The CT scanner allows doctors 47% visibility into the heart, and the entire treatment only takes 10 seconds. 30-year-old Mitesh Kumar was the first Fijian to receive this scan and shared his experience.
I drove in and I was assisted by the hospital staffs, the nurses, and to my surprise the process was pretty seamless, very simple. The machine I was put into lasted about 8 to 9 seconds, and I was taken off the machine, no pain, nothing, and I was handed over the photographs of my heart.
The scanner has no associated risk and a single treatment costs $500. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Gaunda Shipping Limited today welcomed its 5th ship to be called Lomai VT Princess 5. The company director says the new vessel will ease inter-island transportation. Sanya Nimboila reports.
The 130-meter-long ship berthed at the capital city this morning and will roll out its services soon.
So it carries about 100-something vehicles, 194 vehicles, and the capacity of carrying 1,500 passengers. Once you go on board, you see the facilities we have on board. It's 5-star hotels, you know, the washrooms, the facilities, the kids' play area, the restaurant, you know. So hopefully the traveling public maintains that.
Gaunda Shipping began its services in 2011. Seeing the progress of the company, the director's mother salutes her son for the growth.
Yes, I am very proud. his hard-working son.
The new Lomaiviti Princess 5 will serve the people of Sabu Sabu daily and Kandabu twice a week. The vessel will begin its services on the 12th of next month. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Farmers in Madawata are being taught skills and techniques of sustainable land management and how they can run their farm like a business. They completed a 3-day training on today.
30 farmers in Madawata are now well equipped with knowledge on how to better manage their land in order to improve their income.
The workshop for the 3 days was mainly targeting, I think, 3 main areas. First is for sustainable land management. We also look into the farming as a business. And I think the third into that is how we can enhance and create better partnership with our private partners.
The 30 farmers are from the Ngelewanga and Watundova farming communities outside of Lambasa. Most of them are cane farmers, and the lessons learned from the 3-day training will help them diversify their farms.
Sometimes we buy the things from the market, and those people, they put a lot of money, the insecticides, which is not good for our health. But if we have our own backyard garden or own garden at home, that's going to be healthy, and on top of that, it's going to keep us fit. That's why at the age of 70 I am of this type.
The 3-day training was closed today by the Assistant Agriculture Minister, who is currently on a tour of the Northern Division, visiting projects and having Talano sessions with farmers.
The land use, I think people have better knowledge, our older people before. The new generation and some of the people farming now needs more training.
The farmers have requested that more trainings of this sort be held in the farming communities more often. As well, they have been encouraged to form cluster groups so they can be assisted more efficiently. Eleanor Turangibu, FBC News.
The RFMF is urging all Fijians to come out in numbers to support Fiji's first military tattoo celebrations next Friday. RFMF Secretariat for the Military Tattoo, Vula Tambuandua, says that the show will be purely produced by local musicians and the military tattoo family. Tambuandua says the celebrations will also have a special segment to pay tribute to the former RFMF band members.
It's a very important event because this is one of the events that the RFMF band used to go overseas for. We've brought this close to our doors for our Fiji citizens to see what is the military tattoo.
Ahead in sports with Jamie, National School Swimming Team presents their Itau Tau, but up next is Rachel with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in Business Tonight. ATH and group companies record an interim profit. And in growing Fiji, 50 houses in Namanda village get new dam. Stay with us.
I'm another Sorokoro of Nayabu Wenibuga Telebu. Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Tano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Business Tonight, Amalgamated Telecom Holdings Limited and its group companies have recorded an interim and unaudited profit of $35.19 million for the first half ended 30th September. This is an increase of 8.7% compared to the same period last year, which recorded $32.36 million. The growth is attributed to the satisfactory performance across the group companies following the purchase of Telecom Vanuatu Limited. The group sale revenue also recorded a significant increase by 18%, amounting to $232.70 million. Vodafone Fiji Limited continues to be the main revenue contributor to the group. And we now join Rocco from HFC Bank with the latest from the money market.
Vinaka,
Looking at some of the major economic news today, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand released its financial stability report this morning. In the half-yearly report, the central bank said it would undertake a modest easing of home loan restrictions given the recent cooling in the housing market. We also had Japan release its retail trade data for the month of October. Retail sales fell last month for the first time in a year. Later in the evening, we are expecting the business and consumer confidence data for the euro. And early tomorrow morning, our time, we have important macroeconomic data for the United States. The US will release its gross domestic product and personal consumption expenditure data for the third quarter. We will also hear from the Federal Reserve Chair, Janet Yellen, tomorrow morning. She will explain the current economic situation and the policies applied to improve it. So we will have to wait and see how all this affects our traders tomorrow. And that's all for now.
Thanks, Rocco. Looking at today's current exchange rate set each morning for the Fijian dollar. Our dollar was solid in trading yesterday, gaining ground against all the other currencies we follow and holding steady against the US dollar and the PNG Kina. As for the commodities market, oil prices were down slightly to close at $57.67 a barrel. Gold dipped slightly to close at $1,293 an ounce, and silver dipped to close at $16.86 an ounce. And in Fiji tonight, 50 households of Namanda village along Queens Road will no longer need to ration water thanks to a new dam and reservoir constructed by the Water Authority of Fiji. The 180 villagers, mostly employed in the nearby hotels, have been rationing their water supply during the present dry season. Prior to the construction of the dam, and the reservoir, villagers rationed their water usage by opening the water supply to the community between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. The new source will also supply water to the Hideaway Hotel. And that's your business this evening. Now to sports. Here's Jamie.
Thanks, Rachel. In sports tonight, Gareth Baber warns Australia will be the team to beat in its Dubai pool. And Wairiki Sevens tournament marks 10th anniversary. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफरी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन टोटो हुआ कि मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
National Sevens coach Gareth Baber says Australia will be its biggest hurdle in the pool stage of the Dubai Sevens this weekend. Baber says while Australia has a solid team and will come out firing against Fiji, he has prepared countermeasures based on past encounters.
Australian game becomes a very physical battle which Australia want to happen. What we've got to do is make sure that we play the rugby that Fiji play, and when we have beaten them last year, the numbers of times that we did beat them last year, we played the way that we wanted to play and we got those victories. So it's just reminding the players that topping that pool will progress us to a good quarter-final.
The Fiji Beta Wairiki Sevens tournament kicked off at Holy Cross College in Taveuni today. Now in its 10th year, organisers are not only guaranteeing entertainment on the field but off it as well. Ironi Tuinuku reports.
Celebrating a decade of this event, the tournament is likely to be one of the biggest in the country.
The setup that we're having right now, this is actually the first time ever. We're having so much stalls. We have Ferris wheels that's going on. We have jumping castles. This is our 10th tournament, and it is also our 10th year celebration that we are having over here in Taveuni.
Focused on building the grassroots of Fiji rugby, tournament organisers have a bigger picture in mind.
About tournaments, you not only talk about rugby, but you also talk about entertainment. So you need to entertain the people that you're going to bring over to this kind of tournament so that they don't only come and watch rugby, but they are able to enjoy some other entertainments within the tournament itself.
Meanwhile, the only team from Vitilevu hopes to make every minute of their game count.
Working together, do some fundraising, get our fees paid and our fare. And some of the boys paid their own individual fare.
The Under-19 final takes place tomorrow, followed by the main competition that will end on Saturday. Eroni Tuinuku, FBC Sports.
And we now join Eroni live from Tabiuni. Eroni, what's the latest from the Wairiki Sevens?
Thank you, Jamie. Joining me here is the tournament director of the Fiji Wairiki Sevens, Mr. Chone Katoni. Mr. Katoni, how is the first day of the tournament regarding the turnouts and the competition itself?
Well, day one of the competition went very well. With the turnout of the crowds was very good. The weather was really good today, and a lot of teams played very well with the likes of St. John's from Ovalau, also the teams from Lilina, as well as the team from Waitambu. They also played very well today in the day one of the competition. We are very happy that Mr. Roden has also announced that they will also sponsor the tournament for the 11th year next year for 15,000, which is very happy for us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Katoni. There you go, Jamie. That's the update here from the Fiji Bita Wairiki Sevens in Taveuni. Back to you, Jamie.
It's back to the drawing board for Fiji and Tonga after they played a 15-all draw yesterday in the first match of the Oceania Rugby Under-20s Trophy. Both teams are disappointed with the result and are determined to set the record straight in their final game this Saturday. Felipe Nakaso has more.
It wasn't the start that both teams were aiming for.
I think we just need to reduce the errors around our breakdowns and our rucks, and then I think that's where we need to focus on. I think we're going to back the drawing board.
I think we just need to practice more in what we done wrong today and just get back on tomorrow maybe. After that, we're just looking forward to continue with what we done wrong.
It was also a scrappy game with both teams making errors which could have led to tries. However, both teams will now be focused on the last game this Saturday as they will look to make amends.
We did our best out there and the boys gave all, but just some errors where we need to work on from the next few days.
I'm really confident with on Saturday, this Saturday, I'm confident we will beat Fiji.
The winner of the match this Saturday will go through to the 2018 World Rugby Under-20 Trophy and the 2018 Oceania Rugby Under-20s Championship. Felipe Naikaso, FBC Sports.
The Fiji National School swimming team will compete at the 2017 Pacific School Games in Adelaide, Australia next week. The contingent presented the Eitatau to Major General retired Chochi Konrote today. Luciana Tangidakimbao reports.
A total of 38 swimmers will take part in the Adelaide 2017 Pacific School Games. Meanwhile, head coach Jennifer Liu says that most swimmers are capable of producing and improving time records.
They did break records a lot this year. In our school swimming, there were a lot of records broken, and a lot of those record holders made it into the team.
Team Fiji players have been preparing for the last couple of months and they'll prove their worth in the upcoming competition.
We expect them to do their very best, as they've been asked to do, improve their times, decide at the end of it whether or not they want to continue swimming, because it is a very demanding sport.
Meanwhile, Major General retired Chochi Konrote is looking forward to the outcome of the swimming competition. He reminded them of the importance of representing Fiji at the international level.
Confident that you too will create your own history as you improve your swimming skills and competitiveness in Adelaide. And we must always acknowledge God's providence and the support and sacrifices of your respective families, as you've heard from Good Reverend. I'd like to remind you as well that all national representatives, or as national representatives, you have a duty to perform to the best of your abilities and to be good ambassadors for our country, both on and off or out of the pool.
Fiji National School swimming team has a day to prepare themselves before they depart for Australia this weekend for the upcoming Adelaide 2017 Pacific School Games. Luciana Tangidakimbao, FBC Sports.
Fiji Rugby Union Chief Executive John O'Connor has told FBC Sports that he has not received any formal communication from World Rugby about its new policy banning players from writing messages on their wrists. He was responding to statements by New Zealand Rugby Players Association boss Rob Nichols slamming the sport's governing body. Nichols said the ban introduced by World Rugby to align with the Olympics was completely inappropriate and he was already working on getting it reversed. He said the directive was buried in a participation agreement and is fuming over the lack of consultation, despite World Rugby's statement that their rugby committee approved the ban after consultation last month. The 2017 AFL Oceania Cup to be played at Suva's Albert Park next week will also include an Australian Indigenous team. AFL Fiji Development Officer Simon Highfield says this inclusion will boost competition and exposure for Fijian players. Other teams competing for the Under-15 title include Vanuatu, Nauru and one other team from Australia. Following the tournament, a representative side made up of Pacific players will be selected to travel to Australia next year to play against their best.
We're continuing to see more and more kids get involved, which means we've got a bigger pool to select from. So the team is always going to get stronger and stronger, and the skills and the athleticism of the kids is looking really good. The team on a whole, we've got a great amount of coaching staff around and good preparation around the team, so I'm really excited.
That's it from sports tonight. Join Angie later on with weather, and in our new media segment, take a look at Google's new Pixel Buds earphones. That's right after the break.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kung minasama mo tikola, ndo tali taka na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuya sila tali, nagurara may naumani, nandunga. Gitu tali taki yang gitu pinasabale, nagundurong barong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
In new media, some people think that Google's new Pixel Bud headphones are designed to only work with Pixel phones. That's reasonable on account of the naming convention, but it's not actually the case. At their core, the Pixel Buds are just Bluetooth headphones, and that means they can easily pair to any phone or computer with Bluetooth for audio. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. It's the humpy day and we could say the weather was humpy too. After it rained cats and dogs in some areas, the sun was out drying everything. Taking a look in the west, a much cloudy day with humidity. Eastwards from Pekhaba to Suva, a share between sun and rain. More rain is expected later tonight. And up north, a soothing day without much sunshine and neither rain. At sea, easterly winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. And for the tides, high tide tomorrow morning will be at 3:46 with low tide at 10:02. See the beauty of sunrise at 6:21. For tomorrow, showers will lighten, but it will still be raining. Tomorrow's temps, Lambasa will be hot with highs of 31 degrees. And looking further on to Friday, we're still looking at showers, but hope it doesn't stay that way. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji and Pulse tonight, we asked, what actions should be taken against businesses who sell expired goods?
I think very strict action should be taken against them because we pay for those goods.
You talk about expired items that's expired, that shouldn't be done. And I think it's not right for the health of everyone.
They should not sell the expired goods to us because we can get sick, so they should be fined. If we buy it, we will be losing money from our pockets because it's no good buying expired goods.
Recapping the main stories, 14 people sentenced in sedition case. Police records a reduction in robbery cases and man acquitted of 2 counts of rape. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we are asking, should the Fiji Sevens coach bring in overseas players for the World Cup next year? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day. This beautiful view was taken by Peter Colini Sao in Vanuambalavu in the Lau group. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
Bula, kerong mai singatoka, kerong do tali takana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and do moi viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo tikola do tali takana Radio Fiji 1 and do moi viti.
Kaya kuya do sila tali, nagurara may naomanyi, nandunga. Gitu tali tali yang gitu Venezuela, mengundur rongo, barong na Radio Fiji 1 and do moi viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 and do moi viti na bonga ni BNN.